Mike Mulhern for MikeMulhern'sNASCAR. Sunday night, Mark Martin wins at Loudon. Great show. Great show. One of the best shows of the season. These guys were incredibly aggressive. All over the place. Rooting and gouging, beating and banging. A lot of tempers flying too. I think some of these guys are going to have some scores to settle before this season's over. Mark Martin beating Juan Pablo Montoya. Juan Pablo Montoya dominated the race. Got outfoxed at the end. Got snookered by Mark Martin. Here's a guy who's won Indianapolis, who's won Formula One races. And what's he do? Down the stretch. 3 laps to go, restart. Thought he had Mark. He was on the inside. Mark took the outside. Juan Pablo thought he had him. Mark pulled a fast one. And Juan Pablo at first was a little ticked off, and then he said, hey, you got to respect Mark. Of course, next time he said, I'm going to bump him a little more. He played it real nice. Mark knew he had some respect. But it is the chase. And I don't think Mark's going to get quite the respect he needs or expects the next time he tries that. But hey, he won. Number 5 this year. Number 5. This is one of the best years he's had. He's been around since 1981. Solidified his points lead. Looks like a championship contender to me. Looks like a guy who's got things going his way. Came on strong. Kyle Busch, out of the chase. Was out of the hunt most of the day. Rallied, came back, finished 5th, beat his brother Kurt. Then NASCAR after the race said, too low on the front. Might be a penalty coming up on Tuesday. We'll have to wait and see on that. Jimmy Johnson, he was okay. Kurt Busch looked real strong, which told me that Pat Tryson is not really a lame duck. Even though just before the race, he was told, don't bother showing up except for the post-race debriefings because we're going to be discussing 2010 stuff and we don't need you. Tryson, of course, is leaving at the end of the season to go work for Michael Waltrip, and I thought that was going to hurt Kurt Busch's chances in the chase, but apparently not. Kurt had the second best car, challenged Montoya all day, had a little bumpy incident on pit road. He was trying to gas and go. They tried some interesting strategies here with the tires being so hard, and he ran into David Reagan, hurt his car a little bit, but they were okay. Safety? I don't know. NASCAR might want to review the safety policies. This is the track where Kenny Irwin got killed, where Adam Petty got killed. And today, Tony Stewart ran over a crewman, sent him to the hospital, broken foot or something, I'm not sure what. Kurt Busch spun David Reagan, a 180 on pit road. Surprised nobody got hurt there. And then the last lap, A.J. Allmendinger gets spun out, sitting in the middle of the track, just like Dale Jarrett a couple years ago, which was an incident that created the no racing back to the yellow rule, if you remember. NASCAR didn't throw the yellow. They waited and waited and waited, maybe 15 seconds. Seemed like an eternity. Drivers complained. They finally threw the yellow as the guys were coming off turn 4. Mark gets the win. When they finally reviewed all the tapes and everything, it gets pretty complicated when you try to freeze the field the way NASCAR does. They finally ruled that Denny Hamlin was second, and I'm not quite sure what lines they were crossing because they have 9 different finish lines when you have an incident like this. Plus, they go to the video and try to split the differences. Robin Pemberton, NASCAR's competition director, was saying. Got a little confusing there toward the end. Even Mark Martin said he didn't know who finished second, but Mark obviously won. At least I think he won. The first race of the chase. It was a doozy. I loved it. It was great fun. This is NASCAR Racing. Mike Mulhern for MikeMulhern.net. Mark Martin beats Juan Pablo Montoya and Denny Hamlin and Jimmy Johnson in the first race of the chase. And now it's on to Dover.